Welcome to Tuesday the 20th. Oh, sheesh. Happy birthday to my sister. Alita, if you're watching, I love you. Have a great birthday. I'm very proud of you. And I will endeavor to call you later. Hey Siri, set calendar to call Alita at 3:30 p.m. There we go. Thanks, Siri. Oh, all right. Well done, everybody. Hello, hello. Pretty interesting period in the markets right now. Today's going to be... I got maybe a different take on it, right? Of course, like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, do that thing. How do I phrase this? For me, I'm looking at this pullback as quite an interesting event, okay? Now, yes, of course, many in the Slack community that we have that trade the strategies that we teach had a really good day yesterday shorting the market. I didn't get any, and the reason being is I was racing at the start of my day to get out of here relatively early so I could go grab the kids and take them to the beach. It was a picture perfect day here in Sydney yesterday. And and B, whilst I was at the beach, a number of other shorts turned up as well. So for me, I didn't get any on yesterday. I got one this morning on Ethereum, got my 1-to-1, got taken out, break even, one of those things. And then the market bounced. And what I want to sort of go into in a little, not too much detail. I still want to do the scan as per usual, but I want to give you a bit of an insight into how we can use events like this to perhaps make decisions around our portfolio balances. I'm not talking about specific to trading with margin or without margin. I'm just talking about spot trading and managing your portfolio, because I did buy a bit more today, and I wanted to sort of try and mix a little bit of that in as well. So yeah, I won't go into all, I won't do that for every chart, but I will for a couple that I know have relevance. And then after this event, you can perhaps go out there and do the same thing across the charts. Of course, you can use any charts, really. I'm finding the better trends at the moment are on, your USD or USDT contracts, which effectively the list that we're going to go through. It's USD, it's your PERP contracts, which gives us freedom to trade however we like, invest however we like, of course, because the PERP part is essentially the stablecoin part. So let's start with Bitcoin. Of course, we have seen it come off quite heavily. Yesterday, we closed down 9%, and today, at one stage, we were down very quickly too, I might add. The devil's number, 6.66%. It happened quite quickly. Now, if I just switch back a little bit here, I'm pretty sure that I did it live. I know I certainly did it for my community and the Slack members. By the way, hello to everybody out there. I probably should have started with that. Lovely to see you all. Well done, Jason, on your OMG. This candle here, I was hopeful that it would end up being something like back here as well. Oh, and while we're on Bitcoin, right, while we're on this, back here, before this fell over, all right, let's just do this. Where were we? It was over here. When this lower high came in and we had this candle, I put a post out because I raised some orders. Now, this was spot. It wasn't margin. It was me putting it out there. I gave it to the members in my group on Slack. I also put it out there in the Trader Cobb crypto community. Now, that's a free group on Facebook. If you haven't joined, please go ahead and join that. A lot of people in there trading and offering great ideas and thoughts, and you can ask questions, that sort of thing. And it's completely free. It's just a Facebook group. I raised some orders before I went to bed. It might have actually been, this says the 3rd. I think it was the 4th, actually. But anyway, around here, and I want to show that to you because I get a lot of people that say to me, oh, Craig, look, I love your content, blah, 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 blah. I enjoy what you do, but I'm just not a trader. And look, I understand that. I'm not trying to force anybody to become a trader, but what I do suggest is that if at the bare minimums, you go and do the free course that I've got there at tradercobb.com, right? You're going to learn about market structure, market cyclicity, market events, how markets operate and work, and it's going to make you that much better at knowing when to look to take profits, and also when opportunity comes for both taking profits and also getting access to the market. So I just wanted to show this to you to remind those of you out there that don't necessarily want to be traders. This was on the 4th of September. That would have been the 4th of September, my time. Now, this was, anyway, you can see I put into USD on FTX by taking some profits. So I locked in profits. And I told you, I didn't show you the size, but I showed you the levels and what my orders were. So I was buying, what did I say? 50% at 10,515, and then 25% if it subsequently came down and hit those levels. All right. You can see the post there. It was back in 2020. You can see all of it right there. Now that, let me show it to you on the charts, was back over here. 10,515, which was hit here, which that's the 3rd of September, which that's confusing to me because I know that I woke up in the morning and I was in. Anyway, but you can see, even if it wasn't exactly then, you can see where I was talking about it around here. Of course, then we saw that happen. I also recall doing, I'm pretty sure I did a live. No, I'm certain I did a live as Bitcoin was getting heavy up here, suggesting that after 1 month, let me show you the monthly chart. Oops. That after several months of extraordinary move, that we could potentially look to, expect a pullback. And it's exactly what we saw. So this is not to do with trading per se, okay? The trade was available. The trade was XBT. If you wanted to have it with a stop loss and whatnot, I think that's the only reason I'm not doing it with this chart is because it's not on... There's not enough data there on FTX. Here we go. Weekly. Oh, no, sorry. It wasn't FTX. I was just on the monthly. It was that. There's a cradle right there. So the trade was there. I was buying on this candle, looking for a long-term position. It got sort of heavy up here, and I was talking about profit taking around 56 to 58. I can't remember exactly. And, of course, it did fall. Now, that's not me trying to pat myself on the back and tell you, oh, how brilliant I am. Not at all. What I'm suggesting to you in this case is that by understanding market structure and what the probabilities are, because that's all we've got as traders, we can look to have a higher probability for our buy-ins and also a higher probability for being accurate in our profit taking. And rather than having to weather this whole massive storm, we could have locked in some money up here and then be in the position where I know myself and a number of others are, that we've got plenty on the sidelines, and we can buy along the way. So I just wanted to make that clear that even if you're not trading or have no desire to be a trader and, trade those small windows of opportunity, and when I say small windows, you don't need to be sitting there staring at the charts all day, you will still get benefit from it. Anyway, rewind back. So we talked to the pullback potential, and when we had this massive day here, I was suggesting that the only likely level that I could see to be somewhat there was this level, because we can see we had resistance a couple of times. I know it wasn't exact, but you can see the resistance there. We pulled back from it, went through it. We've hit that today, and let me just show you what happened when we hit it, because we were selling off really hard. I mean, that candle was a big candle. At one stage, that was down like 1,500 or something, right? Let's have a look. No, nearly 2,000. And from there, we've bounced quite significantly. Now, I'm not getting ahead of myself here and suggesting, look at me, I'm the oracle of trading. No. It's just to point out that specific levels do have effect on the market, especially when it's a specific level where there's really nothing else there. To me, it was very clear. Time will tell whether it holds. I'm not suggesting that it will. I'm just showing you that there's opportunity when you start to understand how to read a chart, okay, whether you trade or not. So, coming back to Bitcoin now. We've hit that point. There is a higher low. There is a higher high. The monthly is still in fine form. The bullish candle's there. We've moved out of there. We're seeing a pullback at the moment. Who knows where that's going to end? I certainly do not. The point I'm making is that these levels or pullbacks now could represent really good opportunities for those of you that are looking to invest long term into projects. And there'll be a little bit of there'll be a bit of that throughout this particular event. Okay, so yesterday's conversation with my Slack group was that we were either going to see higher time frame longs, i.e., the 8, the 12, the 16, possibly even the daily for the following day, which was today, or we would be working the lower time frames looking for short trades. Of course, the lower time frames were the time frames for which the opportunities presented themselves, and we were down on these 15 minutes. I didn't certainly see anything there for Bitcoin for me. There's nothing really that's all that interesting on Bitcoin right now. And as you can see, the market did have a big fall, but most of it is up at this moment in time. So let's go ahead and have a look at our perp list. It's a little bit how do I put this? It's a little bit undecided for me right now. There was that breakdown. I'll get rid of that now. Mainly because of the way that we've bounced. We've seen a very large rejection of the fall. We're seeing it being bought back up. Will it last? I don't know. But are there conditions to trade? There's a 9% bounce right there on 1 inch. I tend to look at the lower time frames to give me answers in market conditions like they are very fast moving. The issue that I'm seeing at the moment is that some of the pullbacks have been too deep. Now, I'm not too interested here. If you look at 1 inch here, that was a nice clean pullback. Now, there's nothing to say that we won't see the same sort of thing here. So the lower time frames, the 1 hour, possibly the 2 hour come later, I'm looking for chart structure where it fits in. Okay, so let's go and have a look at what we got. All right, I don't necessarily love that. I'm looking for really good cyclicity. There's that support level, 1, 2, bam. I didn't get that. However, there were opportunities there yesterday. There was one up here. Very nice fall from there, of course. But there's nothing now. ACLX. And I'm going to focus first and foremost on the 1 hour chart. Then I'll flip back around. Divergent, so no good. Algo perp, very messy. I'm not interested. Alpha, also messy. Actually, I am going to keep the daily there as well. Alt perp, see its lower high, it's come to a low, only slightly lower low, and divergent. Straight away, I go past that. Same with Ampleforth, Arweave, same sort of situation. Atom, here's one that's interesting because on the daily, we've got a bullish candle now there in the cradle zone. It's up 5%, but off its lows, it's probably more like 12. No, 14, 15%. Big rejection right there of those lows. Very messy through here. Too big for me on a daily cradle. But then we come and look at the 1 hour and we go, well, there's a lower high, a couple of lower highs, bearish candle in the cradle zone. So is that tradable? Well, let's go to the next higher time frame. The 2 hour does not show me a downtrend. It's just been a straight down. So no, it's not of interest there for me either. Audio is a mess. Again, these deeper pullbacks, as I suggested at the beginning, may present opportunities on our higher time frames, like the daily. Yesterday, we were down 18%. Now we got a bullish candle. We don't want these candles to be too big. Pullback, higher high, pull back. Not too interested in AVAX right now. AXS, that's hard to say. Nothing there. Badge is too thin for me. Balancer, as you can see, once again, there was a level of support. 1, 2, boom, went straight down, came back up. There was no trade there for me. The level's no longer relevant. No, there's nothing of interest there. Band, the same. I like seeing good cyclicity where it's fallen deeper on the next lower low than what this is seeing. Bayo, no thank you. BAT, again, not really. We're very divergent. It's of no interest. Bitcoin Cash, we are divergent. Binance, we're also divergent. Bancor, have a quick look here. It's convergent, but just. I mean, it's not all that attractive, I've got to be honest. On to BSV. Big fall, but no, nothing there. BTT, divergent. And when I say divergent, for those that are relatively new, to the way I do things, we look at the lows in the price. See, there's a low there, lower low there. The MACD low here, it's a higher low there. That just can point out to me not to take a trade. It just shows that there might be a little bit of weakness in that trend going forward. Cake, Chiliz, I'll get rid of that level as it's now no longer relevant. Chiliz isn't actually too bad here. We are convergent. The lows are better. This low to this low is much better, hence why it's showing, you know, better cyclicity. It's going to have to stick to the lower time frames for the time being. That 30 isn't actually too bad at this stage. I'm going to put it in the blue list. Because we can't get ahead of ourselves and think, oh, the market's going to bounce for sure. No, there's no such thing as for sure at all. 30. I don't like the 30. It's pulled back in too deep. Probably be... I'm going to keep an eye on that too. Maybe a little bit more room for it to pull back, but I'll keep an eye on it. Convergence, not convergent enough. Haha. Still a little bit divergent to flat there on crypto.com. CRV. Not liking the structure too much. Dash. Ooh, what do we got here? Divergent, that's gone. So you can see the process of elimination that takes place. It's not about going out and looking for trades. It's about eliminating options. And that's why we've got those checklists in place, because each of those checklist items will help me to work out, is there something there or is there not, you know? And my objective is to try and rule everything out, and whatever is not ruled out becomes part of my watch list. Nothing through here, quite a mess. Divergence on the daily on DOT as well, so no interest there. The 1 hour's a mess. Dragon is divergent. Elrond. There was a level through there. It is since passed. Okay. So let's go higher. It doesn't really matter if we go 2 or 3 day. Probably the 2 looks a little bit better. Higher low, higher high, higher low. Boom. Off we went. Pulled back in now. This trend is still in play. All right. It's still in play. What I like to do when I'm buying, or when I'm investing, I should say, and for long term, is that I tend to have a list of projects that I kind of like. You know, I understand. Something like an exchange. I understand their business model. I understand that they are making revenue. It's not just an idea. Now, not to say that there's plenty of other projects that are not doing that. It's just, in my world of understanding and expertise, I've been in financial industries, or services, I should say, as a trader for 16 years. I know a fair bit about it. And I understand how they do things. Some things I still scratch my head on. But that's good, because it means that there's room for improvement for them. And I see that space as being a very good space to invest into. You just got to find the right ones. Now, I say that from my point of view. The reason I say that from my point of view, and I'm not suggesting that you do this, is because it's an area of expertise. It's an area of knowledge that I have. I shouldn't say expertise. It's an area where I have considerable knowledge. Okay, I've worked with some of the biggest brokers in the world. You know, ICE, Oanda, ICE, CMC Markets, lots of big players, and they've been around a long time. Now, what I'm seeing has been successful for those companies is being the ones that are sort of rolling that up best within the crypto space. They seem to be making me good money, because I'm able to buy at the optimal times and see the way they're growing and the path they're on. So for me, that makes sense. Now, if you're into gaming, for example, maybe gaming projects or whatever may be better for you. But you can see the clean pullback. It's a good time on pullbacks when you get opportunities to get in. So we can use that chart structure, that understanding of trend, and if you have the appetite for a longer term investment in your portfolio, not as a trade per se, you can apply and overlap a number of the different ways that we look at markets to help position yourself, both in taking profits and also in your entry point. So Elrond on the higher time frame, nice pullback, trend still in play. On the 1 hour, no interest. Another level there that broke, it's over. No interest there. EOS. Divergent. Again, Ethereum Classic, divergent, no good. Ethereum PERP. flat to divergent. Not overly interested in that at the moment. The weekly here, by the way, is still fine. Big run up back in that cradle zone. So I'll be waiting to see what happens in that area. CHZPERP, again, have a look at where it's pulled back to. Into that cradle zone. We'll check that 3-day. Bit deep, so it has to be the weekly. A very strong run followed by a very decent pullback. It's normal. You know, do you breathe in or do you breathe out? You do both. There's nothing of interest in there. Actually, I'll get rid of that level. Feeder. 3 days going to look pretty tasty. It's in the right area. Nothing there as of yet. The 2-day, nothing there as of yet. But again, a clean pullback. Nothing of interest on the 1 hour. Have a look at where file fell to. Back on the support. Very similar to Bitcoin. The only difference is here that with Bitcoin's pull back into that area, it was an old level of resistance that so far has acted as support. This time, it's just a straight up level of support. It wasn't old resistance, it's just straight up support. Again, you know, we are sitting on support. There's nothing of interest there for me short term. Same again on Flamingo, Flow, Divergent, Phantom, Flat. Let's check that 3-day. Phantom coming in on the week, the 3-day. Be nice to see a little bullish candle down here. So what I'm after, guys, is something similar to that. It's a pretty big candle, but of course, with hindsight, it's not, is it? You know, hindsight, 268%. I'll wait and see what we get in there. But again, right at this moment in time, it's not interesting. FTT. Now, this is probably the best example because this is the one that I did buy into today. All right. I bought FTT, what was it? I can't remember if it was here or here. Either way, I bought it the day that I bought Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin, I think it was just under 30,000. There was a big level of support, and I thought to myself, two things are going to happen here. Either I'm going to raise orders and stagger them, like I just showed you on the last, on this post I did a while back. As it falls, I'm getting filled, or it's going to bounce from here. So I decided I was going to buy some Bitcoin at that level, and I was going to raise more orders if it were to fall, so I could get a lower price of Bitcoin, because I do have a strong belief in Bitcoin long term. I bought FTT, I think it was back here or wherever it was, and I did really well. Sold some around, I can't remember, somewhere through here. I didn't capture any of this move. I took some profits, and I was out of FTT. I've been waiting to see if we could pull back to this level, for which we did. I bought. You can see here, very clean pullback. The 2 and 3 day really highlights how clean that pullback has actually been. Now, I'm not suggesting at all for a second that you go out there and try and do the same or do the same, all right? My objective here is to explain to you and introduce you to the methodology behind what we do. You can apply this to spot, you can apply this to your investment portfolio, and you can apply it to trading, all right? So back into an old level of resistance, hit that level. Sure, it moved lower. It's since moved above that level, and time will tell. This might go to $4. I don't know, but I am willing to back the 16 years I've been doing this into being involved in that position. There's nothing of interest there either. GRT, no. Hedera, no interest there on that time frame, the 1 hour. However, look what we've pulled back into here on that 3 day and even the 2 day. Pulled back very, very far. Back into that region. Again, you know when they say buy the dip? They say it on everything. There are times where the dip makes more sense, and it's when trends are available. And that's what I'm seeing at the moment on some of these projects, is that there are trends and there are opportunities for those that have the understanding to be able to take advantage of those with these sorts of pullbacks. And of course, we don't have a crystal ball, so we don't know. We've just got to, and you never do. You've just got to, it's nice to have a list of the projects that you like, and then wait for those pullbacks if you've got money on the side. All right, that's the way I do things anyway. It's like buying a car. When it's, if you're looking for a second-hand car at the moment, I was looking at getting a Sahara. The the second-hand market is ridiculously overpriced, in my view, based on what I think is value. So I didn't buy Sahara second-hand. I bought a brand new Ranger because that's still, to me, a good buy, right? It's a good buy to for me. Sure, it might not be the Sahara that I thought I wanted, but if it facilitates all the needs that I have, and it made more sense, and it was half the price, well, nearly. So it's about trying to find those good moments to buy in. You're not always going to get them right either, by the way, but you have to have an ability to back yourself. But first, know what it is you're doing. Nothing on high low of interest. I'm looking for convergence down here. I'm not seeing too much of it. The pullback that we've seen, the bounce back, has been quite significant. Oh, yeah, righto. Well, I'm still waiting to get mine. I've never financed a car purchase before, and I'm trying to buy under a different company, and it's taking forever, and it's frustrating the heck out of me. I might just buy it outright anyway. It just doesn't make as much sense to me. Anyway, let's go to the 2 here. Yeah, it's not really on the cards here on Kin either. Kyber Divergent, Kusama. Not overly interesting to me. Lena. Another level that broke down. A little bit messy. Sorry. A little bit messy there as well. Link, not convergent enough for my liking. Loopring, divergent. Litecoin, divergent. Luna, no. Maps. It's quite thinly traded. Not a great enough trend there on that 3-day. It's a bit of a shame because it's actually one of the ones that it does have good convergence, and it is in that cradle zone. It's just, that's fine, but it's just too thin. I'm not going to get the position size that I want there. Matic, I can leave that too. Let's have a look at the higher time frame, the weekly here. Yeah, it's not too exciting either. I can leave mid. Maker. So this is nice. And I'm not suggesting this is a trade either, but this is what I'm looking for. Fall, clean pullback, bearish candle. We had a bit of a pullback here, fall, a bit messy. Oh, it's divergent. That's an easy no, sorry. Meta, too thin. Metal, divergent. Near, not good enough cyclicity. Let's have a look at the 3-day. See another one, a little bullish candle in here might present something in the coming days. Neo, divergent. OKB, really good breakdown this morning. Woo! Coming back into it. Let's have a closer inspection there. Whoops, 30. Look, I'm spending too much time on it. I like taking trades where they just pop out at me, and I'm not seeing it just yet. I've got no idea what happened to Digitex Exchange. No, absolutely no idea at all. We got contracted with them to to do the Cradle course. I have no idea about anything further than that. It was simply they were paying for content that we gave to their clients. I don't really know. I'm sorry. I really have no idea. Don't escape to the eastern suburbs, mate. Go somewhere else. Gee whiz, I can't wait to get out of this place. Not that I don't like it here. It's just that I don't like it here. I'm really trying hard to get out of Sydney. Really, really trying hard. I'm facing some protests from mother. Not my mother. Mother of my children. We'll see how we go. Keep working on it. Don't give up on your dreams. Yeah. What am I doing? Gold. No. Perp. Again, that this big bounce is kind of made it a little bit more difficult as far as good opportunities and trends are concerned. Not digging that either. But this is the reality, guys. You're not always going to find trades when you want them. The trades will occur when they occur. And you're not always going to be there when they do. So you can't cry over it if you weren't there when XYZ did XYZ, you know? You've got to wait. And you've got to understand that if you're not there, you can't do anything anyway. Yeah, it's just too deep of a pullback there. Not very good cyclicity. I don't think 2 hours is going to add any. No, it's not going to add any value. Nothing on Rook. Reserve rights. It's a bit messy in there as well. If you consider that this is kind of the first clean pullback, we've been falling, but there's not been anything really clean that's climbed like that. Because it's happened so quick and so brutally, it's kind of thrown a lot of these charts out, unfortunately. Or fortunately. It's just why couldn't yesterday have been today? Yesterday was a beautiful day here in Sydney, and I went to the beach with the kids. It was great. Had the best day. Or best afternoon. I was still here in the morning. But today I'm around and very keen. But I'm not seeing too much follow through. Serum, another one here. Have a look. Clean trend, pulled right back in, all right? Had a massive move. It's since pulled back significantly. Looking to see if opportunities arise, I will work the higher time frames, using, again, that understanding of markets and cyclicity to help me make my decisions. Divergent on shitcoin. Scale ain't no good on the one. I'll check that 4. Yeah, it's just a bit of a disappointment. Solana, here's another one. Back into that sweet spot. Can it go further? I don't see why not. The trend's there. It appears people are pretty stoked on it. I wish I had bought it at $2.50. Did not. But again, using that simple chart structure logic, that simple cyclicity logic, can help you with your next decisions. Here is Serum itself. Divergent on that one. Sirin Labs, no thanks. STMX, divergent. Whoa, that's a big bounce. Divergent. Computer just made some weird noises. Sushi, here you go. The only difference with sushi is, see this resistance, it hit it, it had a big bounce, it's hit it, it's held. Will it have another big bounce? How much is available if it gets back to where it was? 68%. So again, an example, a good example, in fact, of using old levels to position a portfolio for gains. I'm not suggesting to do that here. It's not as clean as FTT, for example. If you want to have something to sort of, you know, if you're going through things, looking for those opportunities, then please use that FTT as an example, because it's a good one. It just is. It's just a good one. You can come down to Canberra if you like the cold. Oh, mate, I just want to get out of here for a bit. I don't want to live in Canberra. Nope. I want to go north. I've got a boat now, man. I want to go catch Spanish mackerel, black marlin any day of the week, sailfish, trout, red emperor, mangrove jack. Get me back to what I do. Down here, well, currently there's a hot tuna bite going on at Jarvis Bay. And I can't get there. I can't get there. It's doing my head in. I mean, you can see, these. They're my 24 kilo stand-up rods. I've got them all rigged up, ready to go. But I can't use them at the moment. Uniswap. It's got convergence, 2 hour. Let's just see if there's anything there that might be a bounce level. No, really. 25 minutes to go. I'm going to pop that in. I'll keep an eye on that coming into the close of that candle. Uniswaps of no interest. V-chains of no interest. And we just check that again there on Uniswap, because we've got a little bullish candle in here, might give something. Still too far to go. Waves. So we're back into the weekly zone on a lot of these projects. Oh, excuse me. NEM, divergent again. We're being plagued by divergence. Another one. XRP, too messy through here. It's a no for me. Tezos, let's go to that 2-day. And 3, back in that right region, might get something there to work with. Nothing there at this stage. Again, divergent on the 1. Oh, Sean, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Yeah, I got a mate up there in Cairns at the moment on barra fishing safari. Because he wasn't allowed to go to the Northern Territory, he went to Cairns. I'd still rather be in Cairns than here. ZRX, no, divergent, 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 divergent again, and we have one more in Smooth Love. I don't know what that was, but I just feel the need to do something ridiculous when a ridiculous named project comes up. Can I do Rose? You'd have to ask her. Pew! Rose, what's Rose? Rose what? TikTok. Again, please like, share, and subscribe if this is the sort of stuff you like. It does help the algorithm. It does help us. Alrighty. Okay. Well, that's had a few belters of a day, hasn't it? Yeah, it's back into a beautiful spot, mate. Solid pullback into, obviously, the weeklies there, the 2 days there, the 3. I mean, we do have trend there, you know, pullback, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Another one there back in that right zone. As far as trading it to the downside, I'm A, not sure you can, and B, it's not very good right there. So guys, let's have a look at what we've got. There's not much there right now, and it's just due to the fact that we've got a lot of divergence out there, all right? Chiliz, let's have a look at that again on the 30. If that closes bearish in 22 minutes and it's not too big, that might be an option. Compound, deep pullback again, back onto that 1. It's in a nice spot though. It has convergence. Pullback, down we go. Pull back. It could be a nice little short cometh the hour. And same here on Uniswap with that convergence still there now. So there's not a great deal that's come from that entire scan. Don't forget, however, that's the way the cookie crumbles. If we do get some good cyclicity on those lower time frames, we may see more opportunity come later. There's a lot of volatility out there at the moment, which, as I said at the beginning of this and throughout, it may present you with opportunities to pick up some of the projects that you would like to hold long term. And simply by going through and applying some of the methodology that we teach, it could really help in that decision-making process. Because having a project that you like is one thing. Timing your entry is also another. I'm not saying it's a silver bullet. It's just another layer of information for you to understand and work with, and you can get it for free at tradercobb.com. Thank you very, very much for your time. You have a great day, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Bye for now.